This is going to be a largely conceptual video, but understanding Newton's first law is crucial for you to do kinematics problems. So let's get started. What is Newton's first law? It's defined as an object at rest remains at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion in a straight line unless acted upon by a net external force. And that sounds like a bunch of gibberish, but let's break it down. First, let's define what a net external force is. So we're going to go into the concept of a system and surroundings. So let's say that we had a toy car, and this is a horrible toy car, but just ignore it. And it was just sitting on the floor. We can define that this toy car is the system. And everything outside of that toy car is surrounded. So like the rest of the universe, basically. So if a force from the surroundings acts upon the system, let's say that you pushed it, right? Then that is an external force acting on the system. If it was within the system, let's say that one of the wheels broke off, it's still within the system because our system was defined as the toy car. And what does it mean by net external force? So let's say that we had two forces of equal magnitude, 50 newtons, pushing on the car from opposite directions. They're going to cancel out. So in the end, your net external force is 0. And if we go back here, it says an object at rest remains at rest. So this is assuming that its velocity is 0. It's not going to move anywhere without an external force being applied onto it that's not 0. I mean, that makes sense, right? Because if you leave a toy car on the floor, it's not going to go anywhere until you move it. And then the second part, an object in motion stays in motion in a straight line. This is going to be conceptually a little bit harder, but under the perfect conditions, assuming that there's no friction or air resistance or any of that, if an object was moving at a constant velocity, then it's just going to continue moving at that constant velocity unless an external force is applied to it. So in our world, nothing moves on forever, right? It's going to be met with friction, air resistance. If I push that toy car, then the friction is eventually going to act against it and slow it down. But under our perfect conditions, right, acceleration is going to be 0. So summary of the law: if velocity is constant, acceleration is 0, because acceleration is the rate of change of velocity.